We will begin the opening ceremony of this prestigious event. We appreciate your cooperation and look forward to an enriching experience together.
Saat ini Anda berada di Universitas Terbuka Convention Center atau UTCC. UTCC memiliki dua lantai yang terdiri dari lantai 1, memiliki 2 pintu di bagian depan dan 1 pintu di bagian belakang. Toilet tersedia di sebelah kiri dan kanan, musola tersedia di bagian depan. Lantai 2, memiliki 1 pintu di bagian depan dan 2 pintu di bagian belakang. Toilet tersedia di sebelah kiri dan kanan di bagian depan. Dalam keadaan darurat atau terjadi bencana alam gempa atau kebakaran, tetap tenang dan jangan panik. Bila gempa, berlindunglah di tempat yang aman berpegang erat pada struktur yang kuat. Bila kebakaran, gunakan APAR yang tersedia. Bila mampu, bergeraklah ke arah pintu emergency exit. Lepaskan sepatu Anda jika menggunakan sepatu hak tinggi. Berjalanlah dengan hati-hati dan tidak berdesakan. Untuk prosedur evakuasi, petugas yang akan mengarahkan Anda ke titik kumpul. Terima kasih dan selamat beraktivitas.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu, Rahayu, Rahayu. Welcome to the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies, ICoMUS 2025. Proudly presented to you by the Institute of Research and Community Service, Universitas Terbuka. This conference is conducted on hybrid mode. And ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to be able to be with all of you here today. And my name is Ayubi Chakradiwati, and I'm delighted to serve as your host in this prestigious event. And first and foremost, on behalf of Universitas Terbuka, we would like to extend our warmest welcome to the Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Dr. Ali Muktianto, the Chair of Academic Senate, Professor Dr. Hanif Nurholis, the Chair of Board of Trustees, Professor Ainun Naim, the Acting Vice Rector for Academic Affairs, Professor Rahmat Budiman, the Acting Vice Rector for Finance, Resources and General Affairs, Mr. Adrian Sitawijaya, the Vice Rector for Information Systems and Student Affairs, Professor Paken Pandiangan. And also, we would like to acknowledge and welcome our distinguished and invited speakers, Professor Dr. Arif Satria from Bogor Agricultural Institute University, or IPB University, Professor Dr. Yusniza binti Kamarul Zaman from University of Malaya, Professor Dr. Jasmine Samit from University of New South Wales, Australia, Professor Ojat Darajat from Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Culture, Indonesia. And we also warmly welcome our special guest today, who is the former Vice Regent of West Nias, Dr. Era Erahia, as well as all the professors, heads of institutions, deans, vice deans, head of study programs, and of course, not to forget all participants and presenters who are joining us directly here in Universitas Terbuka Convention Center, and also virtually through Zoom application and also YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, every year, ICoMUS reminds us that no researcher stands alone. Why is that? Well, because it has become a place where everyone from different backgrounds comes together, brainstorms together, and exchange their knowledge. And last year, we had a chance to reflect the primary needs of educational transformation in response to the challenges that is brought about by the educational advancements. And this year, the fourth ICoMUS brings about the theme of collaborative research and global mobility, foundation of future research excellence. So this highlights the knowledge that we create could become stronger if it is shared across institutions, disciplines, and also people. So, ladies and gentlemen, to begin our event today, let's have a moment to sing together the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya, as a sign of respect to our beloved country. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise from your seat. Please be seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this beautiful day, let's take another moment to pray together. On this occasion, we would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Sulaiman to lead the prayer. To Mr. Muhammad Sulaiman, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Para hadirin yang kami hormati, dengan segala hormat, izinkan kami memimpin doa ini menurut tata cara agama Islam. Dan bagi umat agama lain, disilakan untuk berdoa sesuai dengan keyakinannya masing-masing. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang maha pengasih lagi maha penyayang, segala puji bagimu yang telah mempertemukan dalam majelis ilmu internasional International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies dengan tema Collaborative Research and Global Mobility, Pillars of Future Research Excellence yang diselenggarakan oleh Universitas Terbuka. Kami bersyukur atas limpahan nikmat ilmu, kesehatan, dan kesempatan untuk berkolaborasi dalam mengembangkan riset yang bermanfaat bagi kemanusiaan. Ya Allah, wahai Maha yang menyatukan, Satukan hati para ilmuwan dari berbagai penjuru dunia dalam jalinan riset yang membangun peradaban dan memuliakan manusia. Jauhkan kami dari sombong dan kikir. Karuniakan kepada kami hati yang rendah dan kedalaman berpikir. Ya Allah, the most wise and all-knowing, bless this conference with light and inspiration. Make our collaboration fruitful, our discussion meaningful, and our discoveries beneficial for all humankind. Ya Rob, jadikanlah konferensi ini bukan sekedar pertemuan, tetapi perjalanan menuju kebenaran dan kedamaian. Anugerahkan keberkahan pada setiap kata yang terucap, pada setiap ide yang ditulis, dan pada setiap langkah yang kami tapaki untuk meraih ridhamu. Amin ya rabbal alamin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thariq. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Sulaiman, for such warm prayer. May our day be blessed and go smoothly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, after this solemn moment, let's add the color and energy to today's program as we're going to watch the lively touch of Indonesian culture through the traditional Jaipong creation dance from West Java that tells the story of the agility and joy of the coastal teenage girls and their energetic, dynamic movements. It aligns with the enthusiasm of academics in realizing what's so-called impactful campus in Indonesia or Kampus Berdampak. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tanjung Baru Dance by the students of Dharma Karya UT School. Beautiful performance, ladies and gentlemen. Give another big round of applause for students of Dharmakaya School of Universitas Terbuka. That was one of so many beautiful traditional dances of Indonesia, and we're so proud of all the culture and heritage that we have. Right, ladies and gentlemen, in order to share an overview of the preparations, objectives, and also significance of today's event, we are honored that today we would invite the chairman of ICoMUS 2025 to deliver the official committee report. For that reason, please welcome Dr. Albert Gamot Malau.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Good morning. The Honorable keynote and panel speaker, Professor Dr. Arif Satria, SP, MSc, Rector of IPB University, Profesor Dr. Yusnizal binti Kamaruzaman, Dean of the Faculties of Business and Economic, University of Malaya, Professor Jasmine Shamud, BA, Hons, MSc, PhD, the Deputy Dean for External Engagement, lead the UNSW Agriculture Research Group and is the Deputy Directorial International of the Charter of Marine Science of Innovation, UNSW, Sydney. Professor Ojad Darojad, MBus PhD, Deputy for Coordination of Improving the Quality of Education at the Coordination Ministry for Human Development and Culture. Rector, Vice Rector, Head of Night, Dance and Fish Dance, Head of Institute, Head of Office and Unit, Head of Study Program, Presenter of the 14th ICoMUS 2025, Participant of the 4th ICoMUS 2025, and students of Universitas Terbuka. Welcome to the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Study, ICoMUS 2025 of Universitas Terbuka. As the chair of the ICoMUS 2025 community, I would like to extend my warning greeting of all the distinguished guests and participants of this conference. The conference is a continuation of the annual international conference previously organized by Center for Scientific Research under the Institute of Research and Community Service. This year, the theme of the conference is Collaborative Research and Global Mobility, Foundation of Future Research Excellence. The event being held in a hybrid format with on-site activity at the Universitas Terbuka Conference Center and online through Zoom meeting and Universitas Terbuka YouTube channel UT.TV. Therefore, I warmly welcome both in-person and virtual participants. Today, multidisciplinary research is considered a key drive in innovation and progress in research. We live in rapidly changing world where system and subsystem and increasingly interconnected. This complexity make a multidisciplinary approach as in production and quality research. So collaboration between research from different fields, we can generate informed research and publication. However, innovation through multidisciplinary research comes with its on the set of challenge to address this innovation and challenge the ICoMUS 2025 community has selected to the theme collaboration research and global mobility in multidisciplinary research and participant, with 4 main categories: 1. Business and management, 2. Social science, 3. Education, 4. Science and technology. In this conference, we will have discussion with keynote speaker from the Rector Bogor Agriculture Institute, IBB University, the Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economy, Universitas of Malaya, the Deputy Dean for External Achievement, then the UNSW Agriculture Research Good, and this Deputy Director International of the Center for Marine Science of Innovation, UNSW Sydney, and Deputy for Coordination of Improving of Quality of Education at the Coordination Ministry for Human Development and Culture, Indonesia. In the afternoon, we will process with parallel session featuring presentation from lecturer, researcher, and student from various institutes. Full paper presenter at this conference will be published in conference proceeding. In closing, we would like to express our deep gratitude on our community member and everyone who has contribution to talk, time and energy to make this conference a success. We hope the 4 ICoMUS will profit significant benefit and contribution to multidisciplinary system. May this conference be productive and assist on all in our future research and inovasi effect. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Albert, for the warm and very complete report. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now our honor to invite the head of Institute of Research and Community Service, Universitas Terbuka, to deliver the welcome speech. Please give a warm round of applause, Professor Dewi Artati Patmo Putri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. The Honorable Keynote and Panel Speaker, Professor Dr. Arif Satria, SPMSI, Director of IPB University, Professor Dr. Yunisa binti Kamarazul Zaman, the Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics, University of Malaya, Professor Jesmond Samut, BA, MSc PhD, the Deputy Dean for External Engagement, and also as a lead of the UNS Agriculture Research Group, and also as the Deputy Director International of the Center for Marine Science and Innovation, UNSW Sydney. Professor Ojat Darojat Embus, PhD, the Deputy for Coordination of Improving the Quality of Education at the Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Culture. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Dr. Ali Muktianto, SEMSI, the Chairman of University Academic Senate, Professor Hanif Nurkholis, the Vice Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Paken Pandiangan, the Vice Rector of System Information and Student Affairs, Dr. Adrian Sutawijaya as the Vice Rector of Finance and General Affairs, the Deans and the Vice Dean, the Head Office and Unit, the Head Study Program, Dr. Era Hia, MSE, Deputy Regent of West NIAS 2021-2024, and all of the presenters of the 4th ICoMUS 2029 and also the participant of the 4th ICoMUS 2029. It is with immense pleasure and great honor that I welcome you to the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies. This event is organized by the Center for Scientific Research Institute for Research and Community Services. On behalf of Universitas Terbuka, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to our esteemed speaker. And I'm very confident that the knowledge shared by this distinguished speaker will be invaluable to us all, both within and outside the academic spheres. Ladies and gentlemen, the rapid advancement of global technology and civilization had led to a complex and interconnected challenge across various sectors. This issue cannot be addressed by a single scientific method or discipline. Instead, they require a multidisciplinary approach and integrate diverse perspectives and approaches. Research that employs such a multidisciplinary approach generates a broader spectrum of benefit and insight. Collaboration and networking, both nationally and internationally, are now fundamental competencies for researchers. These practices are essential in achieving research excellence and allowing scholars to compete on the international stage. With the theme of the conference, Collaborative Research and Global Mobility, Foundation of Future Research Excellence, we hope that Universitas Terbuka can provide a forum for academics and professionals across disciplines to discuss research innovation, challenge, and also solution. This conference offers opportunities to exchange knowledge, foster professional and research connection, and build partnership for future collaboration. The Honorable Ladies and Gentlemen, the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies, or we call it ICoMUS 2029, is a significant platform where lecturers and students can present their research and leverage international expertise and experience. It also contributes in improving the quality of publication as measured by the University Key Performance, or we call it IKU. And this conference brings together speakers who will share their knowledge, experience, and inspiration, all aims at advancing future research effort. On this event, I would like to state that the total number of participants on this conference is about 350, comprising both central and regional Universitas Terbuka lecturer, faculty member from several other universities, and Universitas Terbuka students who have received research grant for Universitas Terbuka. In this occasion, I would like also to extend my deepest gratitude for the Center of Scientific Research, Institute for Research and Community Services, Universitas Terbuka, for their hard work in organizing this event. I believe this conference will strengthen our research activity and encourage further innovation in multidisciplinary studies. Furthermore, I wish to sincerely acknowledge and applaud the participant of every lecturer and student at this conference. As we look ahead, my hope is that we will see even stronger engagement from the academic community in all future events. Thank you. Please enjoy the remainder of the conference, and I wish you all great success in your endeavor. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Dewi, for your powerful message, powerful speech. Right, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue this important gathering, it is now our time to hear from the leader of institution that has long been at the forefront of open and distance education in Indonesia, Universitas Terbuka. So please join me in welcoming the Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Dr. Ali Muktianto, to deliver his opening speech. To Professor Ali, the stage is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu, Rahayu, Rahayu. The honorable keynotes and panel speakers. Ini saya agak nervous nih karena saya ada dua rektor senior di sini. Mohon maaf. Ini ada Prof. Ojad Darojat, the senior rector of Universitas Terbuka. Big applause for him. And the senior rector of Indonesia, not just IPB, Indonesia, Profesor Arif Satria. Big applause. Thank you, my brother. Profesor Dr. Arif Satria, SP MSI, Rector of IPB University, Professor Ojad Darojat, MBus PhD, Deputy for Coordination of Improving the Quality of Education at the Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Culture, Professor Dr. Yusniza binti Kamarul Zaman, Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics, University of Malaya, Professor Jesmond Samud, PA, MSc, PhD, the Deputy Dean for External Engagement, leads the UNSUW Agriculture Research Group, and as the Deputy Director International of the Center for Marine Science and Innovation, Sydney. Vice Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Prof. Pakaian Pandiangan, Dr. Adrian Sutawijaya, the Chairman University Academic Senate, Professor Hanif Nurkalis, the Head of Institute of Research and Community Service, Professor Dewi Patmo, Dean and Vice Deans, Head of Institution, Head of Office and Units in UT, Dr. Erahia, MMMSI, Deputy Region of West Nias, presenter of the 4th ICoMUS 2025, and participant of the 4th ICoMUS 2025. First and foremost, let us praise and thanks to Allah the Almighty for His blessings, enabling us to gather both in person and virtually at the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2025 with the theme Collaborative Research and Global Mobility Foundation of Future Research Excellence. Distinguished guests, the complexity of the challenges facing the world today demand the involvement of various disciplines and cross-border collaboration, both domestically and internationally. Therefore, collaborative research and global mobility, foundation of future research excellence, is a highly relevant theme for fostering research development at the global level. Collaborative synergy is the combining of strengths or expertise and resources from multiple parties to achieve a collective goal greater than what could be achieved individually. By working together, researchers can integrate diverse perspectives to provide more comprehensive solutions to complex problems. For example, addressing climate change requires approach from environmental science, social science, economics, and technology to find sustainable solution. The synergy form the foundation of multidisciplinary approach to research. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as a higher education institution, we believe that research quality is measured not only by the depth of scientific analysis, but also by the extent to which it generates a tangible impact on society and the world. Therefore, universities have a significant responsibility to build an academic ecosystem that encourages innovation, global networking, and researcher mobility. Through cross-border knowledge exchange and inter-university collaborations, we can accelerate scientific progress while strengthening Indonesian research position on the international stage. Distinguished guests, the 2025 International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies is a key forum for researchers to produce studies based on various international skills and experiences and to improve the quality of publications to meet the university key performance indicators. ICoMUS 2025 marks the fourth conference organized by the Institute of Research and Community Services at the Universitas Terbuka. This conference presents keynote speakers who will share their knowledge, experience, as well as their spirit and inspiration in advancing research. At this international seminar, the committee invited lecturers, students, and the general public to present their research. ICoMUS has become an annual agenda that fosters brilliance in addressing national issues, especially in the field of scientific research. Distinguished guests, I would like to extend my gratitude to the Center for Scientific Research, Institute of Research and Community Services Universitas Terbuka for organizing the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2025. Allow me to express my appreciation to the lecturers and students from all universities who are participating. Hopefully, through this event, we can synergize our efforts to develop research activities in the future. I would also like to convey my appreciation and pride to all the Universitas Terbuka lecturers participating in this international conference. I hope that even more lecturers will take part in the years to come. Please enjoy the conference, and may Allah the Almighty continue to bless us all. Finally, with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, it's my distinct honor to officially open the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2025. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Ali. Please stay on the stage as we proceed with the official opening of ICoMUS 2025. So along with Professor Ali on the stage, we would like to invite Professor Dewi Ardati Padmaputri, Dr. Mary Novianti, and Dr. Albert Gamma to come up to the stage as we proceed with the official symbolic opening of ICoMUS 2025. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to guide the process of the symbolic opening of the 4th ICoMUS 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to witness the official symbolic opening of ICoMUS 2025. So let's count down backwards together in 3, 2, 1. Ladies ladies and gentlemen, ICoMUS 2025 is officially begin. Give a bigger round of applause for ICoMUS 2025. Please stay on the stage, colleagues. We would like to keep this moment alive, so we would like to also invite Professor Hanif Nurholis, Professor Ainun Naim, all the deans, Professor Dr. Yusniza Kamarul Zaman, Professor Dr. Jasmine Samad, Professor Ojat Darojat, to come up to the stage as we're going to take pictures together. Sekali lagi kami mengundang kepada Profesor Hanif Nurholis, Profesor Ainun Naim, kepada para dekan, kepada Profesor Dr. Yusniza Kamarul Zaman, Profesor Dr. Jasmine Samad, Profesor Ojat Darojat, dan para pimpinan di LPPM untuk naik ke atas panggung. Kita berfoto bersama juga dengan Pak Arif. Kami mohon untuk naik ke atas panggung, kita foto bersama. Kami juga mengundang para wakil rektor, Mr. Adrian and all the distinguished colleagues. We're gonna keep this moment alive together. This is the official opening of ICoMUS 2025, a memorable experience to all of us here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're gonna take the first formal pose, counting down in 3, 2, 1. Next, we will do the second pose. Pose semangat, Bapak Ibu, with the hand hold like that, right? Ready in 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Now the third pose, we have UT pose, making the right hand with U and also the left hand with T. Are you ready? We're counting down in 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now please come down to the stage as we're going to take a Wi-Fi or take pictures together with all the participants in audience. We would like to ask everyone to stand up from your seat. Bapak Ibu, kami mohon untuk berdiri dari kursi tempat duduknya. Kita akan foto bersama. I'm sorry, could you please squeeze up here down the stage? We're gonna take selfie together with all participants. Bapak Ibu, sekali lagi kami mohon untuk berdiri dari tempat duduk. Kita akan foto bersama dengan semuanya. Kita memorikan momen ini bersama-sama. Ya, baik. Our photographers are ready on the stage now. Put your brightest smile, because everyone's gonna get into the scene. And we're gonna take the first pose in 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Another pose in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now the second pose that we did before, pose semangat, Bapak Ibu. Yang di belakang boleh ikutan pose semangatnya. Baik. Right, ladies and gentlemen, in 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Now the last pose, our UT pose, pose UT, Bapak Ibu. Ya, pose UT. Boleh angkat tangannya biar kelihatan di kamera. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in 3, 2, 1. Amazing, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain to your seat as we begin the agenda ahead. Thank you very much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we just had a very beautiful moment, very full of intimacy with everyone here in this room. And now we will move on to one of the most awaited moments, that is the keynote speech session. Right, today in keynote speech session, we have a distinguished scholar. He is a marine policy and rural development expertise as well. And he contributed extremely to research and publication on governance, food systems, and sustainable development. And he has been at the forefront of innovation and collaboration in higher education, particularly in addressing global challenges related to agriculture, environmental, and sustainability. And this year, he obtained excellence in leadership for global reputation at Indonesia Top Achievement Awards by Metro TV. Wow, amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Please, it's truly an honor to welcome Professor Dr. Arif Satria, Director of IPB University.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, our colleagues, Bapak Profesor Ali Muktianto, and Pak Ojat Darojat as the former Rector of Universitas Terbuka, and now he's assigned as the Deputy in the Ministry of, in Coordinating Ministry on Human Development and Culture. International speakers from UNSW and from University of Malaya, all faculty members and students and all participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to deliver interdisciplinary collaborative research to produce research excellence lesson from IBB University. We believe that collaborative research across discipline is a powerful engine to address today's global challenge, drive innovation, and create meaningful for society. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2045, Indonesia is predicted to become one of the 4 largest economies in the world. In fact, one important stage in realizing Golden Indonesia 2045 is through proper industrialization. Therefore, we must prepare with human capital and innovation. University plays a key role. But how about the PowerPoint? Is it already? Okay. University plays a key role in enhancing the quality of human capital in developing and advancing innovation to shape economic development. Universities should be able to produce technopreneurs, sociopreneurs, professionals, researchers, as well as innovators. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a positive correlation exists between innovation and GDP per capita, showing that countries with strong innovation system tend to have higher economic prosperity. Innovation acts as a key engine of growth, boosting productivity, creating a new industry, and enhancing competitiveness in global economy. The Global Innovation Index serves as a comprehensive benchmarking tool that evaluates compares the innovation ecosystem performance of 133 economies across the globe. The Global Innovation Index not only highlights the strength and weakness of each country's innovation landscape, but also provides valuable insight for policymakers, researchers, and industry leaders to design strategies that foster sustainable innovation-driven growth. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, Indonesia is ranked number 55th. It declines from what happened in 2024. In 2024, we have the rank in 54 in the world and 6 in ASEAN on the Global Innovation Index with score of around 31. This reflects Indonesia's improving innovation performance and growing role as a key innovation player in the ASEAN regions. Now it's getting better compared to what happened 5 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the top indicators belong to Indonesian Global Innovation Index? In 2024, we have good achievement, especially in university industry R&D collaborations. It used to be number 5 in the world, but now in 2025, we decline into number 13. How about the bottom indicators? The bottom indicators, of course, on education, expenditure on education, indicated by percentage of GDP, and tertiary education, inbound mobility, knowledge workers, public research industry, co-publications, and so on. In terms of number of researchers per 1 million population, Indonesia also remains relatively low, with only around 216 researchers. You can look at the presentations. Compared to South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, as well as Thailand and China, we're still far to achieve the ideal number of the human capital, especially who are working in research. How's about the budget? Ladies and gentlemen, it is, if we look at this table, research funding ratio, especially to GDP, our budget is still 1.28% of the GDP, compared to Malaysia 1.4, Thailand 1.0, South Korea 4.8. And regarding the contribution of private sectors, Thailand, I think, is still dominant. Now is 81%, compared to Indonesia, still 12%. Indonesia stands of course, 1.3%, which is still relatively low compared to other countries in the region. And this highlights the importance of increasing R&D investment to enhance research capacity and strengthen national innovation performance. And it is one of the examples, Seoul National University, and we look at another example in other universities. We have information about how is about the budget of research in Seoul University, Hokkaido, National University of Singapore. National University of Singapore have the budget around 12 trillion rupiah. And Seoul National University have the budget of 6.5 trillion rupiah. And Göttingen around 2.1 rupiah. And Tsinghua University in China now have the budget around 30 trillion rupiah. And IPB, 0.7 trillion rupiah. It's still far how to develop the investment of research, especially on budget. In total, I think if we compare to total budget of research in Indonesia, also we need to, to strengthen our commitment in providing the investment for research. How about the top campus, especially for R&D expenditures, like MIT around 16, and then Imperial College London 10, Stanford 24, yeah, Harvard and Oxford, and compared to Indonesia, next. We have the budget, especially from the Ministry of Higher Education, from Directorate Research, from 2022 until 2024, our budget only nearly 3 trillion. It's quite far from Tsinghua, far from Oxford, from Stanford, as well as from Seoul National University. Ladies and gentlemen, now we need to create the opportunity how to strengthen our research through collaboration. This is the concept of recombinatory innovation, how combining different ideas or technology can lead to new breakthroughs. Just like adding wheels to a suitcase transform travel, collaboration brings together people from different backgrounds and disciplines, enabling powerful cross-pollination of ideas. This is why building strong collaborative network is essential for innovation and impactful research. On the left, we see the global distribution of R&D spending and researchers per million population. Countries like United States, Japan, and South Korea have high investment in R&D, while countries like Indonesia still fall into the lower investment cluster. In 2022, global R&D spending reached almost 3.5 trillion US dollar rupiah, showing the enormous scale of global innovation efforts. Related to sustainable development goals and key cluster highlight how research connect across multiple global challenges such as climate change, poverty, and land use. Ladies and gentlemen, only 200 billion US dollar is allocated to nature-based solutions, actions that protect and restore ecosystem. In contrast, over 2 trillion US dollar is still being directed to nature-negative activities that harm the environment. This massive funding gap shows why collaboration across sectors, disciplines, and countries is essential to shift investment towards sustainable solutions and accelerate real impact on climate and biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, our effort in achieving IBP vision to become an entrepreneurial university was commenced from 2019. After the first 5 years, we are now in the period of advancing entrepreneurship by fostering value creation for community and industry and developing resilient ecosystem for advanced science and technology. This period marks our transition from national excellence to global leadership in innovation and sustainability. Now we are entering Industry 5.0 that focus on sustainability, resilience, and human-centric innovation. It is quite different what we have already passed, fourth industrial revolution that focus on digitalization, automation, and AI. Through ICoMUS 5.0 agenda, IBB aims to integrate advanced technology with socio-ecological system, empowering communities and supporting a sustainable future. And to respond to these challenges, IBB focus on strategic innovation area. We focus on omics science, artificial intelligence, as well as sustainability. This is three areas of our new agenda of research. At the institutional level, IBB leverage its education, research, and outreach modalities, including living labs and science parks, to strengthen techno-sociopreneurship and generate real-world impact. With a cooperation budget of only 5 million rupiah or 5 billion rupiah, IBB has successfully generated benefit equivalent to 152 billion rupiah. This means every 1 rupiah invested in collaboration, we get 82 rupiah in return. This means 82 times we got the return. In 2025, IBB established 82 active international consortium, consisting of 51 research and 31 education consortia. Over the years, this number has grown significantly from just 28 in 2020 to 82 today. This means that we just start in 2018. In 2018, our consortium was only 8 consortium. This partnership span 54 active collaborations involving 399 institutions across 56 countries, including 20 partners ranked in top 100 of the QS World University rankings. IBB continues to establish research partnership with various top world universities, including Stanford University, Oxford, SNU, NUS, and so on. And various research fields that can be used as reference include blue food, biodiversity, peat restoration, food system, bioscience, global methane, to gender issues in plantation. This is also the top strategic program of IBB, and we got collaboration with other universities in the world. And this is the list of number of university included in top 100 university, and there are 25% of top 100 university have collaboration with IBB University. Also, international collaborations account for only 19.6% of total publications. It generates the highest research impact with 9.7 citation for publication and a field-weighted citation impact of 1.25. In comparison, national institution and single author publication have lower citation in impact. It is also, we try to get the data from Universitas Terbuka. Next. And international research network now is very important for us to diversify the partners based on location. And now I'm going to talk about the IBB University Research and Innovation. The evolution of university model starts from teaching university and then to become research university and finally to become entrepreneurial university. Most of us are familiar with the basic entrepreneurial university that integrate entrepreneurship into teaching program. A more advanced university model integrates research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. If we focus on business enterprise, it will be technopreneurial university. When we focus on social enterprise, it will be sociopreneurial university. And IBB prefer to integrate techno and socio. And now we call our entrepreneurship vision as the entrepreneurial university. Ladies and gentlemen, to establish a ecosystem that supports its vision to become entrepreneurial university by combining two pillars, technopreneur and sociopreneur, and we need to reform the ecosystem in education as well as ecosystem in research and innovation. The key research field under IBB University ICoMUS 5.0 framework, they start already established in 2020. In 2025, the research ecosystem is built on 3 main pillars. The first is AI, artificial intelligence, covering mathematics, data science, robotics, blockchain, and space technology. The second one is omics science, including genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics, and related advanced biological science. And the last one, sustainability science, focusing on conservation, environmental science, sustainable development goals, and natural resources. And the intersection of these three pillars lies social science, which connect technology and society through behavioral economics, ethics, governance, and policy. This integrated framework aims to drive innovation, empower communities, and support sustainable agro-maritime transformation. Our total research fund in 2024 raised around 566 billion, and we hope in December our budget will around 800 billion rupiah. How about technopreneurship? I'd like to elaborate what's the meaning of technopreneurship and sociopreneurship. The journey from research to innovation is a dynamic process that transforms knowledge into practical application. The Science Technopark plays the important role in this transformation, serving as a bridge between research and industry. It provides a supportive environment for startups to collaborate, innovate, and commercialize research outcomes. Through Science Technopark, IB University support technology development and R&D cooperation, technology business incubation, technology transfer service, intellectual property management, and innovation commercialization. We strongly believe that to produce potential innovations, institutions need to have strong research program. Such research activities will be key for innovation development. The role of a dedicated unit such as Science Technopark of IBB is to support this bridging process, which is valuable to facilitate the innovation development, and we established also a facility since 2018 and keep expanding until now. Science Technopark facilitates research activities at lab scale and even pilot scale are techno-economically assessed, incubated, and finally commercialized. An example of our facilities is the teaching industry that we have in the IBB Science Technopark, wherein one of the facility is the beverage production with line of capacity around 3,000 bottles per hour. And also our teaching industry located in Dermaga campus facilitate internship and practical work, production trial of feed innovation as well as producing for commercial. And similar function also serve our aqua feed mill. This facility is located in same location. And also we have the fish pond. And also we develop coffee teaching industry that has been producing for commercial in addition to serve as learning and research facilities. With the support from Korea, from one company in Korea, we recently established super smart greenhouse, plant factory, and agri-photovoltaic that support research on smart agriculture. As part of business incubation system, we established a startup center to strengthen institutional capacity, human capital, support innovation development, expand partnership, and incubate startup. Most of startup produce green product, both for domestic as well as for global market. The ABB Startup Centers has already incubated nearly 500 startups with a successful rate exceeding 68%. It exemplifies the entrepreneurial ecosystem that transforms idea into sustainable enterprise, contributing to national innovation. Several innovation spin-off demonstrate how interdisciplinary research leads to impact. This, for example, for fiber. Fiber is how to use, wood waste to be, to become the good craft, and it has become souvenir for G20 and for Mandalika race. And reversing climate change through sustainable fashion, also we develop, and then biomass. Another one is, this is the Pelita Desa Export Platform. We try to export our ornamental plant to some international airport in Europe as well as in the Middle East. And also how to produce organic pest repellent, mirip baygon and so on, but it is organic based and it's already becoming export product. How about food innovations? IBB has been actively producing superior varieties to help farmers and private sectors to cope with climate change affecting their production. There are so many varieties which have been widely used by farmers. And for IBB 3S, IBB 11S, it is our varieties already distributed to more than 26 provinces in Indonesia. And also we have Papaya Kalina. Papaya Kalina is our variety. If you go to the supermarket, you can find Papaya California. It used to be Papaya Kalina, but the brand, with using the brand Papaya Kalina, the sale is still low. But after rebranding to become Papaya California, the sales increase. This means that, branding is very important for innovation product of university, even though we know that in California there is no papaya. How about rice production? In 2025, we produced 3,000 tons of superior rice seeds, projected to generate around 1 million tons of rice harvest, or around 1.6% of national production. And I would like to introduce about our IBB Jonggol Innovation Valley. We have the Innovation Valley that illustrates our integrated approach to education, research, and agribusiness. It applies circular economy principles through oil palm plantations, animal feed production, and edutourism while empowering local farmers. In Jonggol Innovation Valley, we established an integrated oil palm production, including plantation and palm oil factory. Our plantation produces 120 tons of fresh fruit buns per month, and the factory has capacity to process 2 tons of fresh fruit buns per hour. And it is oil palm-based biomaterial innovations. We produce helmet, it's green helmet. We produce bullet-proof vest based on, oil palm waste, and biofiber 4.0, how to promote sustainable fashion. And also we produce animal feed from Indo Govera and sorghum. The production of our animal feed factory has increased double in the last 5 years. It has been used for reconditioning post-transportation of the livestock, disaster condition, and so on. And this our ranch. In this ranch, we apply a pasture-based rearing system. I just talked with the Pak Rector, Pak Ali Muktianto, how we can explore the possibility to have the collaboration in developing a living laboratory, joint living laboratory in Jonggol between UT and IBB. We have 250 hectares. If we use this area for joint living lab between IBB and UT, it will be useful for our students, both students from UT and students of IBB University. Ladies and gentlemen, how is Sukamantri Horticulture Center? At Sukamantri, we combine research, education, and agribusiness in horticulture. It is a hub for professional internship, export-oriented ornamental plants, and sport turf research that support national infrastructures. And we empower around 200 farmers surrounding the area. We also produce research on the improvement of sport turf grass, including the use of local grass varieties. This research project involves the participation of students and collaboration with industry partners. This living lab supplies turf grass for national football stadiums. And Gunung Walat, it is the living laboratory for sustainable forestry, agroforestry, and ecotourism. And now I'm going to talk about the sociopreneurship. If technopreneurship is directed to have the connection with the industry, sociopreneurship is directed how to use research, innovation to the community. Further extending the impact, the Community Learning Center emerged as a hub for disseminating this innovation to the broader public. Here, knowledge and technologies are shared with local community, empowering them with education, skill development, and access to new tools. Ensuring that this innovation can create a meaningful impact is another factor that we need to emphasize. Up to now, IBB has introduced various innovations to empower villages through the nation, reaching a number around 7,000 villages, which is 9.8% of total village number in the country. One of our projects is Agribusiness Technology Park. It is very close from our campus. It is the facility, it is the window of IBB in promoting smart agriculture. This place is also the place to empower the farmers surrounding the campus. We have 700 farmers surrounding the campus. We empower them, we educate them, and we provide our variety, our seeds to the farmers. And we provide technical assistance to the farmers, and then the farmers, after harvesting, they sell the product to IBB. And then we distribute to 54 supermarkets in Jakarta. If you go to many supermarkets in Jakarta, and then you can find organic farming from organic product from IBB. And it is the result from the collaboration between IBB and the farmers. And also we put 100 automatic weather stations to educate the farmers about how important weather information for their farming activities. It is also based on our research. And also, we developed the new method for precise village data collection and governance in 1,200 villages in 16 provinces in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, the Community Livestock Academy trains smallholder farmers to become collective entrepreneurs. This model enhances productivity, improves livestock management, and increase farmer access to finance and markets. And for sea farming, it is the good project, how to make sustainable fisheries in Pulau Seribu. Another project is One Village, One CEO. How we use the product of research, innovation, to be implemented or disseminated to the local village. We call CEO. Who are CEOs? The CEO is fresh graduate or final year student. And then they come to the village to disseminate our innovation, to open the market, to open the access of farmers to the financial sources, as well as to improve the processing product. We already developed in 1,043 villages in Indonesia. It is our stores, our outlets. Actually, we have already developed around 22 outlets in Jakarta, in Indonesia, in Kokas, in Gandaria City. But after COVID, we have a challenge how to make this business become survival. But now we just established the new outlets in Pacific Place in the 5th floor. If you have opportunity to go to Pacific Place, you can go to the 5th floor, and then you can find our outlet there. Our outlet contains our innovation product. And by participating through the project in many living labs in Indonesia, now we also try to empower the village to become exporters to many countries. Like, for example, in the corner, in the top, the left hand, you can find the green one. What is the green one? It is the compost. The compost media. When we find one village in Cianjur, in Cipanas, there is oversupply of animal production waste, goat waste. And then we come with our innovation, fermentation, and we produce the product called goat Thai. And then already exported to 11 countries, and also papaya kalina, and then coffee, pineapple, chili, tempeh, egg, and others. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the last part of my presentation is I'm going to talk about the lesson learned from international research collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, this collaborative research program is funded by the DFG from Germany, coordinated by University of Göttingen, Germany. The research is primarily conducted in Sumatra, Indonesia, which represents one of the world's most dynamic tropical landscape. With this foundation, the program seeks to protect and enhance both ecological function and human welfare. It is not only about conserving nature, but also about ensuring the local communities to continue to thrive economically and socially. And what is the impact of all this project? With this project, we produce 400 international publications. And also we invite young professors, and one of the good moments is how we can invite 100 Indonesian scientists to go to Germany. So half of the airplanes is coming from our projects. Ladies and gentlemen, the second one is Integrated Tropical Peatland Research Program with National University of Singapore. This project is a multidisciplinary ecosystem health restoration program, science, people, and sustainability. And we also emphasize the science policy interface. During this project, we work closely with Indonesian government like BRIN, BRGM, and the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, as well as our partner at the US and other universities. Together with policymakers, industry, and NGOs, we bridge scientific evidence with practical policies, ensuring that our research truly informs decisions for sustainable peatlands and management. And why is the approach working? We develop multidisciplinary based integrative science approach, especially with NUS. Also, we develop the basic science-focused research, collaboration with private sectors, with April and many private sector. At the same time, we also develop the partnership with other universities in the global and connecting to the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the products of our collaboration in international level? Books, papers, DNR repository, and also we have opportunity to have young scientists capacity building. Next slide. And we got the facility as well as for new technologies based on, and we got this facility from our collaboration. The third one is smart agriculture collaboration with Holland, with especially Wageningen University. This program is co-funded by LPDP and INREF and carried out by Wageningen University and Research in Netherlands, together with IBB University and State Agriculture Polytechnic in Kupang, alongside industrial partners like e-fishery, Woodfish, and Dairy Pro Indonesia. And it is a strong example on how Indonesia and the Netherlands work hand in hand to advance sustainable technology-driven agriculture. The Smart INREF program responds to Indonesia's rising demands for animal protein and the challenge to bridge centralized knowledge with decentralized production. This initiative aims to expand smart farming techniques in fish and dairy sectors while strengthening the research capacity of Indonesia to develop and apply these technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, our effort to enhance interdisciplinary work through living labs have gained global recognition. IBB ranks among the world's top 60 in interdisciplinary science by time higher education. Number 1 is MIT, number 2 is Stanford, and number 60 is IBB University. This recognition reflects our excellence in education, innovation, and our leadership in the global south. While this initiative shows great progress, challenges remain in ensuring that our programs deliver tangible impacts. We believe that stronger interdisciplinary and even transdisciplinary approach are essential to achieve this. Moving forward, we may need to adopt new practice and design, such as future design thinking, to address complex or weak problems in agriculture and sustainability. Also, we are still facing challenge on how to deliver program with impacts, despite various new tools and design have been introduced, and new practice are perhaps necessary to be adopted, especially for future design. Again, thank you very much, and it's very timely for us to have collaboration with international partners. And I would like to invite Universitas Terbuka to have strong collaboration with IBB in promoting international collaboration in global level as well as in developing joint laboratory in the field. So, how IBB and UT become more impactful to the community as well as to industry will be important pillars for Indonesian future economy. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Arif, for your wonderful and very fruitful keynote speech session. Please stay on the stage as we are going to proceed with the token of appreciation session. So we would like to also invite Professor Dewi Artati Padmaputri, along with Dr. Albert Gamut Malau and Dr. Mary Novianti, to hand over the token of appreciation to the stage. Thank you. We would also like to invite the Director of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Dr. Ali Muktianto, to hand over the token of appreciation. Professor Arif, please stay on the stage as we proceed with the token of appreciation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just had a very fruitful session from Professor Arif, and this is the moment where we give him a token of appreciation as a symbol of gratitude for all the insights that he has shared with us today. And it's a great honor to have Professor Arif on our occasion today, despite his very busy schedule. So in a moment, we're going to take a few pictures together. And thank you very much. Please remain to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for Professor Dr. Arif Satria from IPB University. All right, we just had a very fruitful session just now, and now we will take a short coffee break. And this is also a great chance for you to connecting with your colleagues, and we will resume shortly in 10 minutes. So for now, please enjoy your coffee break. And please come back to the main room as we're about to continue with the next session of our program. Kepada Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati, kami mohon untuk kembali ke tempat duduk karena kita akan memulai kembali acara kita sebentar lagi. Sekali lagi kami mohon, kami undang Bapak Ibu semua untuk kembali ke tempat duduk karena kita akan melanjutkan acara. Terima kasih. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the fourth ICoMUS 2025. So we hope you have had a really nice short break, a coffee break there, and now let's refocus on the exciting discussions ahead. And we're going to the next fruitful session, that is the plenary session. But unlike the previous one, right now we will have a leader who will lead us through the session. And our person today has an extensive experience as a researcher and a lecturer in the fields of sustainable development, urban and regional planning, as well as water and sanitation policy. She earned her bachelor's degree in urban and regional planning from Gajah Mada University, her Master of Science in Urban Management and Development from Erasmus University Rotterdam, and her Doctor of Philosophy in Resources, Environment and Development from the Australian National University. And she is currently the head of the Urban and Regional Planning Study Program at Universitas Terbuka. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is truly our pleasure now to have her go to this plenary session. And please welcome Dr. Vita Elysia.
Tes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the plenary session of the 4th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies, ICoMUS 2025, proudly hosted by Institute for Research and Community Service, Universitas Terbuka. It is a great honor for me to serve as your moderator this morning, and we are privileged to have 3 distinguished plenary speakers with us today from Malaysia, Australia, and Indonesia, who will share their expertise and perspective in line with this year's conference theme. Before we begin, please join me in warmly welcoming our plenary speakers. First, please welcome Professor Yusniza binti Kamarul Zaman from University Malaya, Malaysia. And next plenary speaker, please welcome Professor Jasmine Samet from the University of New South Wales, Australia. And finally, please welcome Professor Ojat Darojat from Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Cultural Affairs, Republic of Indonesia. Welcome, professors. Apa kabar? And it is truly a pleasure to have you all with us here today. And we will begin with presentation from each of our plenary speaker. And after all 3 presentations, we will proceed with a discussion and Q&A session. Now, without further ado, let us begin with our first distinguished speaker from Malaysia, Professor Dr. Yusnita binti Kamarul Zaman. And allow me to introduce Professor Dr. Yusnita binti Kamarul Zaman. She is the Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics and Dean of the Graduate School of Business at University Malaya. She also served as visiting scholar at the University of Glasgow and visiting professor at Universitas Terbuka. Professor Yusniza holds several academic qualifications from world-renowned institutions, PhD in e-marketing and postgraduate diploma in research methods in social sciences from Cardiff University, postgraduate diploma in entrepreneurship for Cambridge University, Master of Business Administration in Marketing and Management from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and Bachelor of Business Administration in Marketing and Diploma in Business Studies from University Teknologi Mara. Her research focuses on e-marketing, entrepreneurship, digital marketing, branding, and consumer behavior with numerous publications in high-impact international journals and textbooks published by Oxford University Press. Wow, amazing. Professor Yusniza, you have approximately 20 minutes for your presentation, and now the floor is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Still, good morning everyone. Right. Saya tak pandai berbahasa Indonesia, jadi we use English, okay? Alright. I am Yusniza Kamarul Zaman. I'm from the Faculty of Business and Economics, University Malaya. And today I'm going to share with you bits and pieces of what we have done at University Malaya with regards to collaboration, research collaboration with industries or businesses. Yeah, I have actually prepared for 1 hour talk, but it's okay. I'm going to go very quick. Yeah, with 20 minutes. The clock is ticking. Yeah, all right. Okay, this is the agenda which I want to share with all of you. Picking up from Prof. Arif just now. Prof. Arif mentioned about ranking, about criteria, yeah, for a good university. I'm going to further discuss about our journey, University Malaya, to the top 60 in the world. So the first agenda, which will be very much about the introduction of Malaysia higher education, and second, I believe friends here, some of you might have visited Kuala Lumpur and University Malaya. So for those who are still planning to come, perhaps this presentation would encourage everyone to come and visit UM and Kuala Lumpur. And the second one, I will talk about the University Industry Collaboration Model, which we have some strategies to share with you here. And then Q&A if you have later. So the overall objective of this presentation or this sharing is basically to share with you how universities can co-create knowledge with industry, turning research into innovation and societal impact. So let's begin with Malaysia higher education. For the students at the back there, you may want to pay attention on the Malaysian education context, and also for the lecturers, perhaps you want to try your luck to apply to UM or to come and to work in University of Malaya or in Malaysia. So I'm promoting as well here. Malaysia, a fast-growing Asian economy, the Malaysian higher education market size was valued 8508 million last year, 2024, and the projection is to grow by 2033 up to USD 59795 million. Yeah, so the demand is very huge there. Malaysia now hosts around 1.2 million students in higher education from 20 public institutions and more than 70 private institutions. Yeah, such a small country, but we have so many universities, public and private. That include all the branch campuses like Nottingham, Southampton, Newcastle, Curtin. So we have so many branch campuses. And Malaysia is on track to meet its target of 250 international students by 2025. And most, at this current time, yeah, Chinese students holds the largest percentage, yeah, about 44,000 enrolled in 2024 in Malaysia. Right. The transformation of Malaysia education now is very much towards the impact. Yeah. So the government has given, has invested a lot in research for all the universities, and they are now looking at the impact, and how they measure the impact is through the ranking and also the accreditation, yeah, which is the foundation of the global recognition. So, as coming from business school, we are very much tied, very much following all the rules that we are, as our guidance is the THE ranking, QS ranking, ACWIS, AACSB, and AMBA, yeah, based on the standards of the international standards. We develop our strategy and we set our KPI for the faculty. And the shift is clear from the academic prestige. Yes, you are in the top ranking, but what is the impact? So we are now moving towards the impact-driven education in University Malaya. And the true measure, how do we measure the impact? We measure the strength of the university, industry, and society partnership. So University Malaya, as a case that I'm bringing today, I would like to show you how we balance the academic excellence with industry engagement and impact. So in Malaysia, out of the just now 20 public university and more than 70, so we have about more than 100 universities, there are 5 selected universities which very lucky getting funding from the government every year, yeah, for research. And this is called 5 Malaysian Research University. You can see, I think some of you might aware of the university, UTM, University Technology Malaysia, USM, University Science Malaysia, UPM, University Putra Malaysia, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM, very popular among Indonesian students, and University Malaya. So we are 5 research university selected by the Ministry of Higher Education, and every year we have to be assessed by the ministry based on certain criteria to maintain our standard or our output and impact. And if we fail to reach or to score at least 80% of the scoring, I will show you how they evaluate us, then the status of research university will be taken out from the list, and there will be another university will be taking over. So the pressure of maintaining the status of research university is really, really tense, yeah, among these 5 universities. So this is what I mentioned earlier, the measurement of research university in Malaysia. So for 5 universities that I mentioned earlier, we have to go through MYRA, yeah, Malaysia Research Assessment. Okay, so MYRA will measure the impact of the funding or of the investment given by the Ministry of Higher Education. So basically, these are the criteria of measurement. They measure the overall data about students and staff, the outcome or the output from students, especially research students, and also the outcome or the output from the research done by the faculty members. Yeah, and then the researchers. I might not have time to go through all the details under researchers. Yeah, so basically the output from the researchers, the research itself, yeah, the funding, the grants that we receive, how much that we have produced in terms of research and publication, and the postgraduate students. For example, how long a PhD students take to complete a PhD. So we call it GOT, graduate on time. This is also part of our KPI as research university. And each and every one PhD student, they have to publish 2 scopus at least, for example, yeah? So these are part of the KPI. And E, the innovation, the IP, the copyright, yeah? So how many, and the commercialization of the innovation, and then the services and gifts like endowment, linkage with company, how much companies. So this is how the industry comes in this perspective. And then the networking, again, academia and industry or enterprises, and finally the facilities, research facilities that we maintain at the university. So we, every year, we have measured in terms of the impact based on all these criteria. Okay, so in short, quickly, I would like to share University Malaya background in terms of the research and research activities. Yeah. So University Malaya is a global university impacting the world. That's our slogan, and it's a comprehensive university. Whatever field that you are interested or thinking of coming and studying, yeah, we have all the fields from medical up to sports science, or even seni creative, yeah, arts and yeah, okay, drama, arts, music, yeah. So we have 14 faculties altogether. We have 2 academies, Malay academies and Islamic. And then we have academic center, we have research cluster. We have more than 70 research clusters in University Malaya, as we are research university. And in terms of the programs, we have more than 200 programs from undergraduate up to the doctorate. Yeah? And the number of students in total of about 44,000 students, and we have more than 8,000 international students from 88 countries, okay? All right, so the history, I think I skipped the history, quite long, yeah. So, as the oldest university in Malaysia, we are the flag bearer of Malaysia. So wherever we go, we bring the flag of Malaysia. We are representing Malaysia. So we are the oldest, and we have to be the best in Malaysia. Somebody has to do for the country, right? So in Indonesia, you have UI, right? So it's about the same. So the latest ranking, Alhamdulillah, we are moving to the top 60. Yeah, we were 60 last year. So this year, 2025, it was announced the highest ranking, which is 58. But the pressure is to maintain the ranking. So we need to strategize better so that we could go up to the top 50, yeah, in future. So in terms of the Asia ranking, we are number 12, and the THE, we are number 65 in Asia. So not only the university ranking, we are also measured by the subject ranking, based on the field. Okay, so in University Malaya, we have research clusters. In University of Malaya, we have energy and materials for science, and nature-inspired technology, cancer active, aging, cultural heritage and civilization, and behavioral study. So you can see University of Malaya is very much into sciences. They are quite biased. Yeah, so the way how they measure KPI, very much like the sciences people. Yeah. So, and we also have trusts under each cluster, okay? Right, accreditation and recognition, very important, especially when you are, working together with industries. Industries will come to you if you are in the top ranking, and also if you are recognized, especially the professional bodies, yeah? Right. This is the model, collaborative model, which we have implemented or adopted in University Malaya. This is the Industry Collaboration Model. If I can briefly share with you, the first, before we design the model, we look at our core capabilities or our strength. Yeah, we are very much strong or have lots of advantages in terms of research excellence. So we have the mission-oriented research ecosystem already established since, I think, 2000. And in terms of the high WOS corpus output, we are there, in fact, on the highest in Malaysia. And in terms of the emerging research center, business and society center, the only university that leading at the moment. So that's part of our strength. The second is talent development. We have lots of doctoral postgraduate programs, graduate student, yeah. So this year alone, we produce close to 600 PhD, yeah, throughout from 14 faculties, yeah. For next month graduation ceremony, we produce 600 PhDs, and you can imagine 600 research times minimum 2 publication. So that's how we manage to maintain or to produce papers. Yeah, and CEO at faculty, the university assign CEOs for each faculty to maintain and to bring the partnership between the university and faculty. I'll show you some examples later from my faculty. We also have Elite at This Elite program is a must for all courses. Yeah, all courses in University Malaya, it's a must for us to have one Elite, the industry people to come to teach 3 hours at least for every course. Yeah, so this makes the faculty more, not only academically strong, but at the same time, industries are coming in and out because of the lectures and also collaboration. And third, innovation and consultancy. We have executive education, we have micro-credential, which we somehow market the programs to industries. And finally, the case-based teaching and policy research. Yeah. Okay, the modes of collaboration, in short, research partnership, we have joint grants, we have contract research, consultancy, industry co-supervised doctoral projects, knowledge exchange, we have adjunct professors, shared labs, industry in residence, and practicum projects, and talent pipeline. Yeah? So this is part of the modes or catalysts, yeah, for this. And in the end, you can see the outcomes of the research, which is for the academia, you can see the real world validation research, and then the enhanced ranking, which I mentioned earlier, and also funding and visibility of the university. And for the industry, access to talent and cutting-edge research where we can get feedback from the industry, and data-driven solution from ESG, alignment, and innovation pipeline. And for the society, of course, every single research that we do, we have to identify the SDG, team, yeah? So this is a must, and policy and governance reform, and finally the inclusive growth through innovation and diffusion.
So, just a gentle reminder, 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm finishing. So just examples, some CEO at faculty. So you can see Malaysia Airport, Berhad, IOI Group, Axiata, Maybank CEOs, Malaysia Airlines, Media Prima, Telecom Malaysia. They are the people who are with the faculty, bringing up the faculty in terms of the industry academia exchange. And we also have adjunct professors also from the industry chairmen, CEOs, yeah, they come to classes and to teach the students as well. So, yeah, it's just 1 minute left, okay? So industry engagement, these are some of the companies that work with us, yeah? The executive programs that I mentioned, okay? The endowment, corporate endowment and chairs that we maintain at the faculty, which the research center at the faculty, which bring us to 58 in the world, yeah? So I think that's all. Maybe I might not have time to go through the criteria of ranking. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Yusniza, for your inspiring presentation. I have made some notes that you have provided insights on collaborative research and university industry partnership, highlight the importance of co-creating knowledge that drive innovation and societal impact. And by bridging academia and business, you have shown how university, particularly in Malaysia and University of Malaya, can enhance competitiveness, build talent, and contribute to inclusive and sustainable growth. Now let us move on to our second speaker from Malaysia, Professor Dr. Jasmine Samad, and it is my Australia, Professor Dr. Jasmine Samad, and it is my pleasure to introduce Professor Jasmine Samad, and he is the Deputy Dean of Science, External Engagement, and Deputy Director of the Center for Marine Science and Innovation at the University of New South Wales, UNSW, Sydney, Australia. He also leads the UNSW Aquaculture Research Group, focusing on the sustainable development of freshwater and marine aquaculture across the Asia-Pacific region. Professor Jess earned all his academic degrees from UNSW Sydney, including PhD in Physical Geography, Master of Science in Physical Geography, and also Bachelor of Arts in Physical Geography. He has led more than 10 large-scale ICR-funded international projects, well, wonderful, collaborating with governments, NGOs, and local communities to improve aquaculture practices, seafood provenance, and environmental management. He also served as honorary research fellow at ENSTO and a member of editorial board of the Indonesian Aquaculture Journal. Professor Jasmine, you have 20 minutes for your presentation, and the floor is yours.
Thank you.
If you prefer, you are welcome to stand at the podium during this presentation.
I might stand up because I'll get
all
sore.
Good then.
Just like the previous speaker, I planned for 1 hour and I'm going to try and condense into 20 minutes. I will try to speak slowly, and my apologies if my accent makes it difficult for you to understand me, but I'll do my best. So I want to start out by talking about impact and how we traditionally viewed science and its roles. And traditional science basically produces research outputs, most commonly research papers. That is what we see, and many people see, as the most important task of a researcher. But my view, and the emerging view, and the new paradigm really is about expanding the research pipeline so that the beneficiaries of our research, industry, government, and community, are there travelling with us along that research pipeline, that they are there when we formulate a concept to do research on, they are there with us when we apply for funding, they participate in our research and our data collection, and they work with us to make sure that our research is translational, that it can be translated into an outcome to eventually achieve impact. So I think there's been a lot of change in the last decade or so, and some of that change has been driven by funding agencies and governments wanting more from researchers, wanting to see real impact. So traditionally, this is what we are often pushed to think about: H-index, our research income, and how many research papers. Now, all of that is still important. It's important for rigour. It's important for the integrity of the research that we do. But we need to go beyond that, because a common thing that people say to me is, I'm just going to jump ahead, we cannot eat research papers. Okay? We cannot use research papers as fertiliser to grow our crops. We need to think about how a research benefits the end user. And very often the end user is funding our research. Now let me just go back. So what does research mean to other people, to our stakeholders, to our beneficiaries, to our funding agencies? What does it mean? It means a change. Impact means a change for the better, a better environment, a better society, better livelihoods, better health. So they are what real impacts are. And later on, I'm going to talk about how my university is using different measures of impact, not just H-index, not just citations, to acknowledge and recognise the benefits of the research that people do. Okay, so what are the drivers? I've mentioned some of them. One of them is that I know in Australia now, when you apply for funding, you have to demonstrate the predicted impacts. You will not easily get funding if you're only going to publish papers. You need to show what is the adoption pathway, how will the research make a difference, what will the difference be? That is sometimes difficult for researchers to predict or to calculate. This is where multidisciplinarity is important, because it means a biologist might need to work with an economist to put a dollar or rupiah value on the research. If I put in $1, you need someone to help you show that the return on investment, is going to be a healthy $3.90. That's just an example. So it's important for us as researchers that we collaborate with economists, with social scientists, etc., to be able to capture what the impact might be from our research in order to get funded, to get support, but also to plan the adoption of our research outputs. There used to be, I know when I started as a scientist, I'm an applied scientist, and I work with basic scientists. I do some basic science as well, but I'm largely an applied scientist. And when I began my career, there used to be this we call applied science soft and basic hard. And it used to create some division in opinions about the value of science. Fortunately, today, decades later, people are appreciating the importance of each significant approach to doing science. That they're both really important. We need basic science and we need applied science. Society needs both. There's also an increasing awareness and appreciation from people who pay tax. They see their tax money going into research, and they are asking the question, how is it changing my life? Is it making a difference? So we are now really compelled towards making sure that our research has societal and positive environmental impact in order to be accepted and to be supported further. I think I've lost. I think this pointer. Oops, there we go. So often in research we talk about experts, and the immediate thought is that scientists are experts and that's it. But our stakeholders are experts. Their life experience, their industry experience, their experience in governance, all of that generates data and generates knowledge that can shape the scientific research. So across all my projects, we treat the farmers that we work with, these are farmers in Vietnam, rice and shrimp farmers, as experts. They give us knowledge about the effect of climate on their crops. They give us knowledge about when crops fail, when crops succeed. And we're able to use that knowledge to shape the experimental work that we do. And they work with us on what is practical for dissemination. You know, what kind of format should the communication be in? Should it be brochures, posters, feedback sessions, workshops? So their expertise is at the front line of food production. So we need them to be involved in our research, in shaping the research, in collecting the data, in interpreting the data, and then communicating the findings to others. So I've mentioned that already. So a lot of what I just said is on that slide, so I'll just skip that. All right, I'm going to give you a case study from Papua New Guinea. So I've been working in Papua New Guinea for about 15, 16 years now, dealing with food issues. In Papua New Guinea, they do not have a lot of protein in their diet. So the children are stunted. Okay, more than 50% in the rural areas, the children do not grow to the normal height. And then when they become adults, they are fat. They gain a lot of weight because they're eating a lot of carbohydrate and oil, but not much protein. So this has a problem that creates, it triggers metabolic disease, heart disease, vascular disease. So a lot of people die in their late 50s because of poor diet and also other lifestyle factors. So we have a multidisciplinary team to try to address the issues because we are trying to, on the project, improve access to fish. If you look at the children in this photo, you can notice they have the malnutrition-shaped belly because they're not getting enough nutrients. So this is a problem for them. So we work together because we need social scientists and ethnographers who understand the communities we're working in. We work with biologists, we work with nuclear scientists, we work with economists, and we work with ecologists. And all together on the team, we conduct the science, but we also have on our team farmers. We also have people that belong to religious groups and also NGOs because they give us that cultural perspective. So this is what the ponds look like in Papua New Guinea. Very small ponds. They grow tilapia in the ponds. But feeding the fish is a problem because fish feed is very expensive. And many of these ponds are in remote areas where they cannot purchase feed or they don't have the money to be able to pay for it. So we work with these communities to help them produce their own feed and also produce lower cost feed and to change their feeding strategies. We also help them improve fish husbandry, fingerling production. There's a whole range of science that we do. When we started our projects, we were very focused on improving aquaculture production scientifically. But as the project evolved, we got more and more into extension work and working with the community and involving the community in our work. So this is one of what we call a lead farmer. And this is a quote from a video you can have a look at. And he says, "My ponds are my bank. If I need something for my family, I harvest fish to sell." So we work with these lead farmers, people from the community, for the extension component of the research. They help us to facilitate the uptake of the research. In this one, the quote there is from my colleague, Jacob Wani, from the National Fisheries Authority. When I first met him, he told me his vision statement. His vision statement was that he wanted to see every Papua New Guinean able to have fish on their plate for dinner so they can eat fish. That's his vision. That vision is shared by many of his colleagues, but also the farming community, people that want fish in their diet because they don't want their children to be sick. They want to live longer. They want to have another income as well. So that has been our vision for the last 15 years, and we're able to go from 7,000 fish farms up to 70,000. In about 10 years, we increased that. And that is because, not just because of the research, but because of the extension, because of partnership with the stakeholders, working with lead farmers, training lead farmers, working with NGOs, working with religious groups, working in the community. So we use a lot of knowledge exchange via our social networks. And this is where a social scientist on the project or an ethnographer helps us. So we develop these knowledge networks across the country where we take community leaders and we train them how to farm fish. They're respected, so people listen to them, and then other people farm fish. Now, if we didn't have team members qualified and skilled, we would just be publishing papers and nothing more. And that would not be impactful. We do a lot of research capacity building as well. And we've extended the research capacity building for specialised skill building. You'll see one of my Indonesian students in the bottom there, Hatim El Basri from Brin. We bring scientists from the countries we work in and we train them at UNSW. We train them at the Australian Nuclear Science and Technology Organisation. We also train them in the country. We train in Vietnam, PNG, Indonesia, etc. Capacity building is fundamental to research success. And we get our hard scientists to learn social science skills and vice versa, so that we learn from each other. We do in PNG a lot of extension capacity building, so teaching people how to train other people. We teach people how to take the science that we produce and make it into something that is understood. In Papua New Guinea, there are 850 languages, so we have to think of creative ways for the science to be adopted. One of the things that we do is we work in the prison system, and this is where multidisciplinarity is really important. In the prison system, we teach people how to farm fish so that they build their hope, their confidence, and when they're released from prison, they have something to make money instead of committing crime. And it's been very successful. So the prisoners always say to us that before the fish farming, they used to be sad, upset, depressed. Now they're excited. They get up, they feed the fish, they look after the ponds. I'm just going to go through quickly because of the time. So this is Gaius. I've known Gaius now for 10 years. He's in jail and he has another 18 years before he's back in the community. And this is what he says: when I am released from prison, I will take up fish farming. I will become a somebody. When he went into prison, he was depressed, sad, 28 years. What am I going to do? And he became part of our training program in the jail. Now he's excited. He wants to leave, when he leaves jail, become a fish farmer. And we have, this is Moxie. He used to be in prison and we trained him to farm fish. He's now successful. He went from, his status was low when he was released from prison. People were scared of him. Now his status is up here. They respect him. They want to learn how to farm fish from him. Now, I was going to show this video, but I don't have time. If you want to take a photograph, you can watch this video. So if you want to quickly take a photograph of it, because I need to move on. I've got 4 minutes. And this is another one, Farming Fish for Change. This one is on YouTube, and it talks about the social impacts. And for us, the social study component is really important. When we started our research in Papua New Guinea 16 years ago, we didn't have a social science component. And we quickly learned that we needed to have social science in order for us to have an impact. So we do a lot of social surveys, we do a lot of monitoring and evaluation, and we need to have those people with those skills because the environments that we work in are quite challenging. Very quickly, I think there is tremendous scope these days with technology, with Zoom, with Teams, and we learnt in COVID how to communicate online, and now we're back to travelling. So South-South and triangular cooperation is something that I strongly encourage. I've seen the benefits of Global South universities working together, but also in a triangular cooperation with universities from the Global North. So that's something that I would strongly recommend in your discussions with collaborators from other institutions working together. At UNSW, now I'll talk very, very quick, we have a strategy called Progress for All, and we have impact pathways that have been developed and have been fostered to encourage people to make their research more meaningful. And we have impact focus areas. So the core ones are transition to a sustainable society, advancing prosperity, enabling healthy lives, and strengthening societal resilience. I'm just going to skip that slide because of time. And I've talked a lot about societal impact. We have a societal impact framework that is guiding all our staff at UNSW to make sure their research is meaningful. In science, we have what we call Pact for Impact. And Pact for Impact is fostering partnerships with industry and government so that we go through the research journey together to try to maximise the impact of what we do. And that's been a highly successful campaign. And we also looked at how do we measure science impacts beyond H-index. So if you go online and type in Pact for Impact, you'll see an example from my fish farming research with my colleagues from ANSTO, the National Fisheries Authority, and then there's another one from materials science. And it helps us to understand the impacts on society, the impacts on industry, the impacts on policy. So you can have a very impactful project even though you don't have lots of publications. So this is a way of measuring our impact that moves away from the traditional citations, publications, and H-index, which are not really impacts. They're outputs and outcomes. So if you want to learn more about what my team does, that's my LinkedIn account. We very regularly post on that account. But I think the take-home message is that multidisciplinarity is fundamental to achieving societal and environmental impact. And it's important, and I think most people would agree now, that we need to break down the silos between the disciplines, break the silos down, foster interaction between disciplines, and foster interaction between the various agencies. Because no environmental, social, health, or economic problem can be solved by one discipline alone. There are multi-factors involved in a lot of the world global issues that we're confronted with. So I think we're moving more and more towards that, and certainly hearing other people speak at this meeting makes me very hopeful that we're heading in the right direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Jasman, for that inspiring presentation. So many touching stories. Professor Jasman emphasized that impactful research must go beyond publication, and it should start from the needs of the communities, government, and industries, and lead to real social and environmental change. Through cross-disciplinary collaboration and inclusive stakeholder engagement, his project in Papua New Guinea, so many touching stories, have shown how science can improve food security, livelihoods, and social cohesion. He reminded us that when scientists work hand in hand with communities, research becomes not only meaningful but also truly transformative. And now let's continue with our third and final speaker, Professor Ojat Darujat, Deputy for Coordination of Education Quality Improvement from the Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Cultural Affairs, Republic of Indonesia. It is a privilege to introduce Professor Ojat Darujat. He is currently served as Deputy for Coordination of Education Quality Improvement at the Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Cultural Affairs, Kemenko PMK, Republic of Indonesia. He previously served as Rector of Universitas Terbuka and President of the Asian Association of Open Universities, AAOU. Professor Ojat holds the following academic qualification: PhD in Curriculum, Theory and Implementation from Simon Fraser University in Canada, Master of Business Administration in Management from Lathrop University, Australia, Postgraduate Diploma in Management from Lathrop University, Australia, and Bachelor of Education in Business Studies from Indonesia University of Education, UPI Bandung, Indonesia. His academic and leadership contribution focus on quality assurance, innovation, and digital transformation in open and distant learning. Professor Ojat, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mbak Vita, and our colleague panelists, Professor Jess and also Professor Yus. Thank you so much. UT University leaders, I see here Prof. Hanif from Senat Terbuka, Prof. Dewi, and also the Dean of Economic Faculty, Ibu Merani, and all UT University leaders, faculty members, and all attendants. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And just as you, I'm also a faculty member. My original career as a faculty member at Faculty of Education, and we know that our biggest problem in research is about how we can make downstreaming our research for industry, and mostly our research at the end just only publications to achieve our career as a professor. So in this session, I would like to raise some very important issues in my ministry about utilizations and commercialization of research and innovation to strengthen the national industrial ecosystem. Let me begin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oke. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi. Rabbi shalli sadri wa yassir li amri wal urtamil lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. Everyone, when I joined the ministry as the deputy for education quality improvement for coordinating ministry for human development and cultural affairs, I know that the biggest problem in our country today is about research and innovations have not been optimally utilized by the industry. This is the issue about hilirisasi, downstreaming. Mostly our research resulted by all faculty members end up with published in international and national journal to achieve our career, but very rare how we can contribute to the society. So we now have something like a slogan, University Impact, Kampus Berdampak. And this is, I think, very important for us. That's why it is my vision when I joined the ministry, how we can develop an orchestrations to bridge the gap between the research done by all faculty members with the industry. We are talking about the regulations and also different strategic policies to support how we can create the partnership between university and the industry. And this is the next slide. But before we are discussing about the strategic issues, now I would like to provide the general information about the Ministry for Human Development and Cultural Affairs. Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs, or we call it Kemenko PMK, Kementerian Koordinator Pembangunan Manusia dan Kebudayaan. The major task for our ministry is about synchronization, how we can synchronize, coordinate, and control about the policies related to human development and culture affairs. This based on the Presidential Declaration number 144, 2024. So we have a strategic issues and also challenges about policy orchestrations, what we call it SKP. SKP is stand for sinkronisasi, koordinasi, dan pengendalian. SKP in the governance of research and innovation technology to strengthen downstreaming, hilirisasi, and the industrial ecosystem is still not effective. This is the strategic issues. And then the current issue today is about research and technological innovation. Research have not been optimally utilized by industry due to the effectiveness of policy orchestrations. This is the main issue in our country today. So, starting from this, there is a need for initiative and innovative solution to strengthen the role of Kemenko PMK orchestrations in promoting policies for the utilization and commercialization of research and innovations research produced by universities, just like all you faculty members, ministries and donor organization, and also research center institution to enhance policies on industrial downstreaming and ecosystem development. This is the issue. This is several that is under in the deputy. I'm now assigned as deputy in the ministry. So it is my responsibilities to implement SKP, sinkronisasi, koordinasi, dan pengendalian in the formulation, determination, and execution of policies related to research, technology, and industrial innovation. And the second that is, for example, also in coordinating among ministries and agencies, research development and innovation ecosystem to strengthen research partnership and coordinating national research governance. This is the majorities I am as a deputy in the ministry. Next. It is my insight that the problem solving framework. We try to develop a governance model of orchestration. It is very important for us to develop a governance model how we can coordinate research and innovation to support hilirisasi policy in our country. I try to identify some, listen here, the main problem caused by, first, about regulatory and bureaucratic barriers. This is about regulation. We talk about regulation. When we ask about the gap between the research resulted by faculty members in the industry, it is because of the regulation. I think existing regulation today not quite support how we can bridge between the research and also the need of industry. It is very important to create a regulation to support the harmonize and synergize between industry and faculty members and universities, including polytechnic. The technology transfer process takes 3 until 7 years. It is the database on the Ministry of Law and Human Rights in 2023. And 60% researchers complain about the complexity of commercialization permits. This is what happened in my country today. Also, the gap between needs and research topic. We can see here from the data that 73% of university research is all about academic in nature. We are, as a faculty members, not only from Universitas Terbuka, but only for different universities in Indonesia, we feel that mostly our research is only about academic in nature. But I know maybe some faculty member also want to conduct research to provide feedback and also provide benefits for society. So it is very important how we can create our research to provide impact from the university to be commercialized, to be educate to our society, then big impact from economic development. Lack of incentive for industry. Currently, we know that financial support from the industry is very small to conduct research in our country. It is stated based on the data, 90% for research coming from the APBN, from our government. Only 10% from the industry, from business. When we try to some survey to the industry, it is some problem. When we would like to invite industry and business to conduct research, to support research conducted by all faculty members, it must be a benefit for them. For example, it is in our insight today, we would like to provide something like super tax deduction to industry members who want to support the research in universities. And also something like tax holiday. It is very important to support, to encourage business industry to get involved in the research conducted by faculty members. Fragmented innovation ecosystem mindset and research and development culture. Research institutions, for example, BRIN here, and universities and industries work in silos. And only 8% of the startup are connected to the manufacturing industry. Jadi Bapak Ibu sekalian, pada saat ini saya melihat mostly faculty members conducting research not based on the demand driven. Apa sesungguhnya yang dibutuhkan oleh dunia industri? Bapak Ibu melaksanakan research, conducting research hanya untuk kepentingan peningkatan profesional Ibu sebagai dosen saja. Yang akhirnya hanya cukup dengan dipublikasikan di international journal dan hanya sedikit gitu kan, yang sekitar 8% yang memiliki impact bagi masyarakat. Jadi riset yang dihasilkan oleh Bapak Ibu sekalian end up sebagai suatu publikasi saja. Dan ini harus dorong bagaimana caranya supaya riset yang dilakukan oleh Bapak Ibu sekalian adalah riset yang dibutuhkan oleh dunia industri. Ini yang penting. Oleh karena itu maka sangat penting bagi kita bagaimana mensinergikan antara riset yang akan dibiayai oleh UT misalnya dengan kebutuhan di lapangan di industri. This is most very strategic issue today. Next. Nah, so based on that problem, the biggest problem, I myself and also Associate Deputy for Research, Technology and Industry Partnership, we develop our new program in the Ministry of PMK, what we call it One Action Pentahelix Program. Jadi ini merupakan aksi yang akan mencoba menjembatani gap yang tidak terhubung selama ini antara politeknik, universitas, institut, dan lembaga lainnya dengan kebutuhan nyata di lapangan, demand driven, market driven. try to create an excellent pentahelix, what we call it Metaverse ID. Nah, this Metaverse ID to support Astacita Point. Bapak Ibu sekalian, kita tahu, kita mengenal tentang Astacita Bapak Prabowo. Astacita, ada 8 misi pemerintah Indonesia, what we call it Astacita. Dan Astacita nomor 4 adalah terkait dengan investment in human resources development, yang terkait dengan peningkatan kualitas sumber daya manusia. Nomor 4, enhancing human resources in education, research, etc., and promoting downstreaming and isolation to increase domestic added value. Jadi mempromosikan hilirisasi dan isolasi to increase domestic added value. Bagaimana caranya supaya riset yang dilaksanakan oleh Bapak dan Ibu sekalian bisa kita hilirisasi dan memberikan impact, berdampak bagi pertumbuhan ekonomi, bagi masyarakat. To support the implementation of bureaucratic reform in all areas. Saya melihat ada riset yang dilaksanakan oleh Dikti Saintek yang kemudian didistribusikan ke seluruh perguruan tinggi di tanah air. Juga ada yang riset dilaksanakan oleh BRIN dan berbagai ekosistem, termasuk juga partner-partner dari institusi yang baik dalam negeri maupun luar negeri yang sama-sama melaksanakan riset. Tapi ini tidak terorkestrasi dengan baik. Dan inilah tugas utama saya di kementerian, bagaimana supaya saya bisa melakukan SKP, sinkronisasi, koordinasi dan pengendalian supaya ini semuanya bisa bersama-sama mendukung program Astacita Bapak Presiden. Nah, di dalam satu aksi pentahelik ini kita mengembangkan 4 subflagship, ada yang disebut sebagai One Data Actions di dalam bentuk platform digital yang nanti bisa diakses oleh seluruh perguruan tinggi di tanah air, and also One Connect Action, satu jejaring aksi, jadi biar nanti semua terorkestrasi sebagai sebuah ekosistem yang tidak berdiri sendiri tapi merupakan satu jaringan yang utuh yang bisa kita bersama-sama supaya seluruh resources yang kita korbankan, baik anggarannya maupun SDM-nya, sumber daya manusianya, termasuk waktu dan sebagainya, dikerahkan menuju satu astacita yang sama. Also, we have one transforming regulation. Regulasi ini menjadi sangat penting bagi kita karena tanpa didukung oleh regulasi yang utuh, yang komprehensif, semuanya tidak akan menjadi kenyataan. Sebagai contoh yang tadi saya sampaikan, kenapa industri tidak banyak terlibat dalam kegiatan riset yang dilaksanakan oleh para faculty members? Karena tidak ada insentif bagi mereka. Tidak ada insentif. Nah, oleh karena itu regulasi menjadi sangat penting. Bagaimana dengan regulasi yang akan dibangun oleh kementerian kami, DPMK, kemudian melibatkan kementerian teknis seperti Dikti Saintek, Dikdasmen, Kemendag dan sebagainya, termasuk Manpower dan semuanya. Itu bisa memberikan insentif kepada perusahaan, industri, bisnis sektor yang akan mendukung kegiatan riset yang dilaksanakan oleh faculty members. Contohnya tadi seperti bagaimana perusahaan yang telah mendukung secara finansial kegiatan riset itu diberikan super tax deduction. Ada pengurangan tax di akhir tahun bagi mereka yang terlibat dalam kegiatan industri. Also about tax holiday bagi industri-industri yang sedang di tanah air dan memberikan dukungan penuh terhadap kegiatan penelitian dilaksanakan oleh universitas, maka tidak haram bagi kita untuk memberikan tax holiday bagi mereka supaya ini bertumbuh dan terjadi sinergi dengan Bapak Ibu semua. Next. Nah, ini adalah this is about outcome and also output. The first output is about the establishment of the One Action Pentahelix Task Force through the ministerial decree. Jadi nanti di tempat kami insya Allah akan dibangun suatu regulasi dalam bentuk permen atau kepmen dan akan dijadikan sebagai referensi for all prospective partners, including the Director General for Higher Education and universities, polytechnic and all. The development of digital platform for One Action Pentahelix. This is a platform, digital platform. And then Thirdly, the formation of pentahelix partnership network. Untuk meraih kesuksesan di masa depan, to achieve our success in the future, we must develop our partnership. It is impossible for us to achieve our success by ourselves. Tidak bisa bekerja sendiri untuk mencapai meraih masa depan sukses. Kita butuh kerjasama, kita butuh teman. Jadi keberhasilan itu, kesuksesan itu diraih secara bersama-sama. Kita maju, berkembang, bertumbuh bersama. Ini menurut saya sangat penting. Oleh karena itu, maka supaya seluruh kegiatan riset yang dilaksanakan oleh kita semua itu bisa dirasakan oleh kita semua sebagai hasil kegiatan bareng-bareng, sinergi, harmoni dengan semua pihak yang terlibat. The development of governance model for policy orchestration. Seperti tadi yang disampaikan oleh Prof. Yus dari Malaysia University, mereka juga punya government model sebagai pendekatan, maka kita juga akan melahirkan model baru yang menurut saya ini sangat penting untuk menjembatani kebutuhan antara teman-teman yang sekarang sedang aktif mengabdikan diri di universitas dengan saudara-saudara kita yang sedang aktif mengabdikan diri di dunia industri, di dunia usaha. So it is very important to develop a governance model. Inilah akan menjadikan sebagai wadah, sebagai jembatan untuk mensinergikan usaha kita bersama. And then the realization of regulatory transformation to support the utilization and commercialization of research result. And this is the impact in the long run about outcome, the policy orchestration ini menjadi sangat penting. Jadi insya Allah Bapak Ibu kami sedang aktif sekarang membuat suatu regulasi yang memungkinkan kerjasama yang sinergi antara faculty members, universities, and also business industries. The implementation of research and innovation governance policies become more effective insya Allah, and then policies develop more credible, evidence-based policy, enhancing public trust. Jadi sangat penting untuk membuat polisi berdasarkan data dan fakta. Bukan polisi yang dibangun atas persepsi, teori dan konsep. Tapi harus berdasarkan data dan fakta yang sedang dibutuhkan di lapangan. Data driven, market driven policy. And then the innovation ecosystem, industrial partnership become stronger. Insya Allah policy control and increasing data driven and evidence based. Next. Alhamdulillah. Saya kira itu Bapak yang saya sampaikan. Mudah-mudahan dari apa yang saya sampaikan bisa memberikan gambaran kepada Bapak Ibu. This is the general information. This is very fortunate for me to have this opportunity, to have this session, just to provide general information what happened today, what we try to develop in our ministry to provide bridge between university and business industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ojat, for your insightful presentation. And your presentation, Prof. Ojat, on your presentation, Prof. Ojat, on the one action pentahelix. From your presentation about one action pentahelix through metaverse.id. Initiative that underscores the need of integrated collaboration among government, academia, industry, communities, and the media to accelerate the utilization and commercialization of research and innovation. Also, this governance model promotes stronger policy orchestration and evidence-based decision-making across sectors. By aligning regulation, funding, and partnership schemes, it seeks to bridge the gap between research output and industrial needs. And ultimately, of course, these efforts aim to achieve technological independence and supports Indonesian vision for economic transformation toward Golden Indonesia 2045. And again, thank you very much to all three speakers for their insightful presentation. Now we will open the floor for questions and comments from the audience. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Microphones are available. We'll start with the first two questions. Please state your name, affiliation, and indicate which speaker your question is addressed to. Maybe I will start from the left side. Yes, please, the lady with the pink scarf. Yep, yes, please.
Halo. Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Matilda. I'm from UT Jakarta. I have a question for Professor Jess Salmon. As we know that collaborations between natural and social scientists is essential to tackle today's complex global issues. However, these kinds of partnership isn't always easy to achieve. And my question is, what are the primary challenges, both institutional and cultural, that must be overcome to establish and sustain effective collaborations between these two fields? Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we can continue. For the second question, maybe from the right side. Please raise your hand. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm Susi Indah Tumorang and I'm student statistics study program and I'm from UT Medan. Okay, I have two questions. Question number one to Professor Jasmine Samut. Okay, what methods or framework are most effective from facilitating the communication and integration of concepts and methodologies from different scientific and social backgrounds? And question number two to Professor Dr. Yusrija binti Kamarul Zaman. Okay, which funding models or methods are most effective in sustaining collaborative research project between universities and industry sector, ensuring alignment between scientific and commercial objective? Okay, thank you very much.
Could you please kindly repeat for the first question?
Okay, what methods or framework are most effective from facilitating the communication and integration of concept and methodologies from different scientific and social background?
Okay. Thank you for the first question to Professor Jess. It's about what are the challenges of effective collaboration, and also continue for the second question also for you about the methods to facilitate collaboration.
Thank you. Thank you both for your questions. Can you hear me okay? Yep. Yeah, so to answer the first question, it's not always easy to bring people from different disciplines together. And the most fundamental challenge is that you're dealing with personalities. You know, people are people. And there are, for example, people that I think are really good scientists, excellent scientists, but I would never involve them in my research team because their personality type would not fit the cultural environment where I'm working. So I work a lot in developing countries with people that are very poor, people that are very disadvantaged. So I have to make sure that the people on my team have the right personality to be able to be culturally sensitive and to be culturally aware. So sometimes I have to trade off a really good scientist with a person that maybe is not as experienced but knows how to engage with people. Engaging with social scientists hasn't been difficult for me. I think with any working relationship, the number one thing is you have clarity over what you want to achieve together. Secondly is you build trust between the people from the different disciplines so that they respect each other. because you will always have some different perspectives when you're undertaking research. So, yeah, my number one thing is to make sure that I understand the personality types of the people that join my team. And I also make sure that when I'm working in a different country, that I have social scientists from that country involved, because they have the real world cultural experience. If I take someone from Australia into Indonesia, into communities where they don't understand the culture, their social science skills actually may not be as effective. Did you want me to answer the second question about the publication and methods? Yeah. So for the second young lady, thank you for your question as well. With all of my projects, I go through a process where I bring all the scientists together and some of the stakeholders as well. So we go through a co-design process where everyone has input, and we use a combination of qualitative and quantitative research. So the quantitative scientists will not understand survey design, will not understand how to use narratives or anecdotal information, and vice versa. Some of the qualitative scientists will not understand the quantitative science. But we join, we come together, and we look at which objectives and research questions need a particular disciplinary background to address it. So that for me is what a good team is made up of. People willing to communicate, people willing to come together, people willing to respect each other's approach to science, but with an understanding, like I mentioned in my talk, no single discipline is probably going to solve an environmental problem or a social problem or an economic problem. We really need to have that mix of disciplines to be able to get success. So the most important thing, communication, getting people to communicate in a trust-based environment. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully, Professor Jess' explanation has addressed your question. And for the next question for Prof. Yusniza, related to funding models for research collaboration. Yeah, about funding models.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Before I answer the question, I think it's good for me to give a little bit of, comparison of Asian university or Southeast Asia universities environment versus universities in the UK, in the US, or even in Australia. So I experienced this during my studies, postgraduate studies. I was in the UK for 6 years, completed my PhD and master's. The environment there, the industries are very, very supportive. They come to the university, they want to be in the university, they want to contribute, and they want to be seen in the university. But in Asia context, you have to go and find them because they don't have that trust. Perhaps, the perception of university is so theoretical when it comes to, solution, decision, and things like that. We have to change that perspective, and that's very, very challenging. So, taking this, comparison, we, at least at the University of Malaya or in Malaysia, in order to welcome people, to be close to us, we have to be flexible. So in terms of the policy, or in terms of the guidelines, of course we are a public university, we have to, be not too rigid. Like for example, you want to welcome companies to the university and they cannot sort of sponsor the event or the research giving grants, but they can provide, like for example, just to sponsor one TV for the classroom, for example. It's fine, yeah, whichever or in what ways that they feel comfortable and they feel, affordable, not too costly to be close to the university, or they want to come and organize career fair, for example. So we welcome, yeah. So we normally, when a company approach us, we let them decide which direction. Some companies, they prefer to be with the students, to sponsor the students' events, for example. So let them be. Or some, they want to see the outcome from research. For example, like I mentioned earlier, the endowment chairs and whatnot. So we work with companies based on their vision, mission, and we've been so flexible to accommodate them. Yeah, so if I can share, it is not only, money, dollars and cents. It can be in kind, or it can be support, coming to the class, lecture the students. So this is also part of the collaboration. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Justisa. I think that's some important points to note, regarding funding models and how collaboration works effectively. And let's now proceed to the next two questions. Please raise your hand. Okay, yes, please. Okay, yes. Please state your name and affiliation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prof. Yus, Prof. Ojat, and Prof. Jason for inspiring presentation. My name is Erna Risnawati from Universitas Terbuka, from FKIP, Pak Ojat. And, but I hope one day I will have opportunity to pursue my PhD at UNSW or University of Malaya. And my question. My first question, from the perspective of social science and education, how do you synergize the benefits and needs of society with research activity, especially social science and education, conducted at your respective university, and what program or initiative to support this collaboration? And the second one, maybe my friend will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Komite. Okay, thank you for the great presentation, Professor Yusniza and Professor Jasmine, and of course, Professor Ojat. And my question is for Professor Ojat. I think the innovation presented by Prof. Ojat is so excellent because decision making will be based on actual needs. Earlier, you mentioned research collaboration with the industrial sector. From what I understand, the results of research will benefit the industry. I would to ask, in Indonesia's education sector, has decision making always been based on research, or is it something that will only start being implemented? For example, the MBG, freelance program, makan gizi gratis, yeah, which is projected to take up like around 44% of the education budget in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe the second question from Prof. Ojat first. So in terms of decision-making process, basically it's supposed to be research will benefit industries, but based on your experience, maybe based on your perspective, in terms of decision-making, is it based on research or just implemented, as he mentioned about makan bergizi gratis, yeah, free meal school for students, maybe?
Thank you for the questions. As I have already mentioned before, that this is a big problem in our country today, and we try to develop a kind of solutions how we can what bridge between research resulted by all faculty members in universities, polytechnic, etc., to give benefit and feedback for the society. And this is very important for us, how to we understand the problem. I would to provide a general picture how the research of the research can benefit the society. I would like an example. This is a real example. The real example, what happened in our research today, conducting by the IPB University. Pak Arif presentation, saya baru saja menyelesaikan masalah yang terjadi research yang dilaksanakan oleh IPB dengan harapan yang seharusnya ini menjadi benefit bagi society, bagi pasar, bagi pertumbuhan ekonomi, tapi tidak terjadi. Ini real problem. Jadi ada peneliti dari ITB, sorry, respond in Indonesian version, just to think clear gitu kan. Ada dosen IPB melakukan penelitian terkait dengan pemanfaatan hilirisasi dan komersialisasi buah gedong, mangga gedong menyebutnya orang mangga gedong di daerah Majalengka, West Java, Majalengka. Maybe some of you know Majalengka. Di Majalengka itu saat ini karena memang digerakkan oleh pemerintah daerah, banyak sekali petani-petani. There are many farmers mangoes there. Pada saat itu panen raya mangga gedong di Majalengka. Dosen IPB melakukan penelitian bagaimana caranya supaya buah mangga tersebut dapat dikomersialisasi, dapat dilihat dan memberikan dampak yang besar, manfaat yang maslahat bagi masyarakat. Sehingga mereka akhirnya come up with model peralatan yang dibutuhkan untuk mengolah buah gedong tersebut menjadi pure. Dan itu ada 7 produk turunan yang akan dihasilkan dan itu sangat bermanfaat untuk komersialisasi di Indonesia. Dan sekarang itu belum ada, selama ini kita import, gitu ya. Nah, sampai ini dihasilkan barang tersebut, dihasilkan sudah jadi, tetapi ketika ini akan dikomersialisasi ternyata banyak masalah dan akhirnya tidak jadi. Sekarang alat itu ada di Bogor, itu tidak dimanfaatkan, digunakan untuk pengolahan buah mangga tersebut. Karena terkait dengan tadi yang saya sampaikan, Bapak Ibu di halaman slide kedua, talking about regulations and bureaucratic barriers. 60% of researchers complain about the complexity of commercialization permit. Jadi ada 60% para peneliti yang komplain ketika hasil penelitiannya akan dikomersialisasi. Ini kan berarti terkait dengan regulasi. Nah, tidak memberikan dampak bagi masyarakat, bagi pertumbuhan ekonomi di Majalengka, Kadipaten, Sumedang dan sekitarnya. Nah, inilah karena regulasi yang tidak bagus, regulasi yang kurang tepat sehingga menghambat hasil dari riset itu tidak berdampak ke masyarakat. Itu yang sedang kita lakukan, bagaimana caranya supaya regulasi yang eksis saat ini bisa kita review dan bisa dijadikan sebagai rujukan bagi industri, bagi peneliti supaya memang uang yang telah kita korbankan untuk penelitian tersebut memang nanti akan berdampak, bermanfaat bagi masyarakat. Nah, jadi itu ya, mudah-mudahan ini bisa memberikan jawaban atas pertanyaan yang pertama. Yang kedua terkait dengan freelance box untuk anak-anak, itu kan sekarang kita tahu ini menjadi viral gitu ya, berita yang terkait MBG, makan bergizi gratis, dan ini juga merupakan PR penting yang sedang dibahas oleh pemerintah. Minggu yang lalu just couple days ago we conduct RTM, rapat tingkat menteri untuk membahas karena banyak anak-anak Indonesia yang keracunan setelah makan bergizi. Ini sangat penting. Jadi kita memang di dalam pengambilan keputusan awal membuat perencanaan ketika MBG akan diimplementasikan di lapangan itu sudah bagus, seperti sudah bagus, tetapi karena tidak didasarkan policies itu tidak berangkat dari data dari lapangan, data fakta di lapangan, sehingga atau juga mungkin tidak berdasarkan pada praktek baik yang telah dilaksanakan di negara-negara lain, sehingga hasilnya tidak bagus. Banyak peristiwa-peristiwa yang justru ini menjadi framing yang negatif terhadap program yang sangat mulai ini. Nah, oleh karena itu maka kita sekarang sedang aktif beberapa kementerian teknis terkait untuk mensurvei, menggali data di lapangan. Jadi kita akan membangun suatu policy, merumuskan regulasi yang memang didukung oleh data dan fakta di lapangan, supaya nanti harapan kita tahun 2026 ini nanti regulasinya itu bisa komprehensif. Kalau Bapak Mahfud MD kami menyatakan bahwa pelaksanaan freelance ini memang tidak dukung dengan regulasi yang tepat. Sekarang itu kan tidak ada regulasinya Bapak Ibu, MBG yang dilaksanakan saat ini tidak ada regulasinya. Jadi ketika kita bicara tentang pemerintahan daerah itu, kepala dinas di daerah, di kabupaten, kota tidak terlibat, mereka diamnya aja begitu aja ya. Terus juga kementerian, tidak ada regulasi yang tepat yang bisa dijadikan sebagai rujukan untuk melaksanakan MBG. Makanya pada saat ini kita sedang menyediakan presidential decree, Perpres untuk mengatur MBG ini. Nah, MBG Perpresnya sudah dirumuskan, sudah dibuat dan sudah sudah diparaf oleh beberapa kementerian terkait untuk nanti di Seknek diserahkan kepada Presiden untuk disebutkan sebagai regulasinya. Jadi yang disampaikan oleh Bapak Mahfud MD itu terkait dengan regulasi ketidakregulasinya, Perpresnya. Nah, Perpres sekarang sudah buat, insya Allah dalam bulan Oktober ya, akhir bulan Oktober ini beres insya Allah. Nah, jadi regulasi menjadi sangat penting, tapi regulasinya yang didukung based on data and fact driven gitu kan, dari lapangan, bukan persepsi, konsep, teori gitu kan, para pejabat yang menurut dia ideal, bagus, penting itu cocok, padahal belum tentu ketika itu diuji di lapangan. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Ojat. So, understand the problem is important and fundamental, and how research and data or facts based works to support decision-making process in terms of regulation, and also how monitoring and evaluation is also vital in the process. And maybe for the first question, Prof. Jess and Prof. Justina could add some short important notes on how to support research collaboration for the first question. Maybe you can go first.
Okay, thank you for the questions. And before I answer that question, I just want to say how terrific, how great it is to see young people showing the courage to stand up in front of everyone and ask questions, and to ask them in English. So thank you. I think that's admirable. And you're also, it's all been women as well, which shows that you are going to be great leaders for other women in your careers. So congratulations on that as well. Fostering collaboration can sometimes be difficult. We joke sometimes about people in science operating in a bubble or in their silo. It's really important to try and bring people together. And I'm really proud of my university because we have made great efforts to bring people from different faculties and different schools together. So to give you an example, in the next few weeks we're running a big sustainable development goal showcase, bringing people from all across the university to see what other people are doing. And these opportunities to meet and talk to other people have been really rewarding. So we tend to have activities on campus now that exposes people from different disciplines to each other. We We also try to share seminar series in some schools with people from other faculties to get people to talk about where their research might overlap. But I think ultimately it comes down to the individuals, that individuals need to make an effort to go and talk to people and build their network, but also colleagues introducing each other, showing initiative. So I'm always looking for ways to introduce people that I know would work well together, and they might be people from another faculty. But see, acting as a Deputy Dean for external engagement, my priority has always been internal engagement, making sure people within my university are talking to each other and working together. But not always easy, but not impossible. And it comes back to what I said earlier, personality types. I think most of us should do, I did it, a few psychology courses to learn how to read other people so that you can work a lot easier with them. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, interesting. So not always easy, but possible. Okay.
Yeah, just to add just a bit more, I totally agree with Prof. Jess' point. Sometimes if you need to, negotiate or to discuss things, you don't simply send people who are maybe not knowing what is happening at the university. When people ask you, they couldn't find or they couldn't give right information, or they're not confident to work or to speak on behalf of the university. I think putting the right people as the forefront of the collaboration is very important. That's number one. Number two, you have to put as part of KPI to make it happen. Otherwise, they won't do it just for the sake of doing it. So it's carrots for them for all the effort. So if at University Malaya, it's like 20%, where you have to show in your KPI that you have collaborated with the industry, external partners, external universities, and types of collaboration, which can be the high impact, low impact, and just like connecting or collaborating as research members. So there's like tiers of efforts or involvement in KPI. So yeah, that could be one of the methods.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yusnizar, for some important things to note. Yeah. And my apologies, due to time constraint, we will have to conclude this Q&A session. Thank you very much to all three speakers for the insightful presentation. I noticed that three of you share a common thread, the power of collaboration, whether it's collaboration between academia, education institution, industry, and also including governments. So it seems to be the key to driving meaningful change to collaboration. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now have reached end of our plenary session. It has been enlightening discussion ranging from collaborative research through and also to commercialization of research and innovation. And we would like to express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed plenary speaker, Professor Yusniza Kamarulzaman, Professor Jasmine Samud, and Professor Ojat Darujat for their invaluable insight and collaboration. And thank you also for all participants for your active engagement and thoughtful question. Please enjoy the rest of the conference, and I would like to hand the session back to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to all the plenary speakers and moderator. Please remain on stage because we're going to have a token of appreciation session. So we would like to invite Professor Rahmat Budiman, along with Professor Dewi Ardhati Padmaputri, Dr. Albert Gamot Malau, and Dr. Mary Novianti to come up to the stage to hand over the token of appreciation for our speakers and moderator. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first certificate is given to Professor Yusniza binti Kamarul Zaman from University of Malaya. Thank you so much, Professor Yusniza, for your contributions, inspiring presentations in our session this afternoon. And the second certificate is given to Professor Dr. Jasmine Samit from University of New South Wales, Australia. Thank you so much, Professor Jas, for sharing your experience, your story to all of us today. Very inspiring. And next is certificate for Professor Ojat Darajat from Coordinating Ministry for Human Development and Cultural Affairs. Thank you so much, Professor Ojat, for the enriching presentations that you gave. And last but not least, we also have a certificate for our moderator, who has led the run-through of the plenary session this afternoon. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, please give your biggest round of applause for all of the speakers and also our moderator for the plenary session. And we're going to take a picture, keep this moment alive through the photograph. All right, squeeze in together. And we're counting down backwards in 3, 2, 1. One more time with another pose. Yeah, pose semangat, Bapak Ibu. Fighting pose in 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Please remain to your seat. Amazing insight we just had just now. Ladies and gentlemen, give the biggest round of applause to all the speakers and moderators this afternoon. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the lunch break session. I've got some information to inform to you all here. First thing is for our Muslim fellows, we have the prayer space just right in front of this main venue. And also we will have lunch break until 1:30. And then also the foods are served at the corners of this main venue. And then also another thing after lunch break is the parallel session. We have 7 rooms that is provided already in this main venue. It is a hybrid class. And please allow me to inform you in bahasa Indonesia kepada Bapak Ibu semua. Kami infokan, kami menyediakan tempat untuk beribadah, untuk sholat zuhur kepada para Bapak Ibu yang beragama Islam. Ada di luar ruangan ini. Kemudian kita akan melaksanakan sesi paralel nanti di jam 1:30. Jangan lupa di jam 1:30. Dan makanan untuk para mahasiswa kami sediakan di sisi sebelah kanan. Di sisi sebelah kanan dari ruangan ini. Dan untuk yang bukan mahasiswa silahkan menyantap makanan di sebelah kiri. Di sisi sebelah kiri. Baik, alright ladies and gentlemen, so I'll see you later in another time. For now, enjoy your lunch break. Thank you. welcome back to the fourth ICoMUS 2025. Wow, what a long day that we had so far. But we're not gonna end up our prestigious event without anything. So there's gonna be another big thing before we close down the event. Ladies and gentlemen, before that, I trust that the panel sessions that you attended just now were both enriching and also engaging. And the varieties of topics and also perspectives that were presented in those sessions pretty much really aligns with what is the value of e-commerce. That is where the ideas are shared, challenged, and also strengthened through the dialogue. But hold on, it doesn't end there, because all the hard work will always be paid off. Yes, it's a time now for us to celebrate and recognize outstanding contributions. A special highlight of ICoMUS 2025 is the Best Paper Award, and which honors the dedication, quality, originality of your research. So, for that matter, we would like to invite the representative of the academic committee, Professor Madayudi Setyani, to come up to the stage to announce the winners of Best Paper Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Madayudi Setyani.
Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Rahayu. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished scholars and honored guests, it is with pleasure that we now present the Best Paper Award of the Annual International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies, or ICoMUS 2025. Okay, this year we received a lot of submissions from across disciplines, and then after rigorous review process by our scientific committee, we are proud to recognize one outstanding paper that exemplify academic excellence, originality, and meaningful contribution to multidisciplinary research. Okay, now I would like to present our winner. The Best Paper Award winner is Kaurinisa and Andi Mulyana with the paper titled Over Tourism, Tourist Perspectives, Experiences, and Satisfaction, Implication for Destination Image. Let's give a big hand for our winners.
We would like to invite the winner. Is the winner here? We would like to know, is the winner here? Amazing. Please come up to the stage. Congratulations. We will be giving a token of appreciation, and we would like to invite Professor Dewi Artati Patmaputri, Dr. Albert Gamut Malau, and Dr. Mary Novianti to come to the stage to hand over the token of appreciation for our winner. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our sole Best Paper Award winner with the title of the paper, Over Tourism, Tourist Perspectives, Experiences and Satisfaction, Implications for Destination Image. Congratulations to Hairunisa and Anji Maulana for winning the best paper award. Thank you very much. Please. Okay, we're gonna take another picture together. Maybe we could take another picture together. Keep this moment alive and counting backwards in 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. Please remain seated. Let's give big a round of applause to the winner of Best Paper Award 2025. To Dr. Mary Novianti, please remain on the stage. Please remain on the stage, right, ladies and gentlemen. That's our sole winner. She did amazing on her research, and that's something that we could look out for ourselves. And for the next time, maybe we could also win it. We never know. So now, as we approaching to the end of the conference, we have Dr. Mary Novianti on the stage now, and we will be hearing the closing speech from Dr. Mary Novianti. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause and welcome Dr. Mary Novianti.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu, Rahayu, Rahayu. The Honorable, the head of the Institute for Research and Community Services, all the presenters, participants, and committee of the 4th ICoMUS 2025, who I am proud of. Praise be to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His abundant grace and blessing, which have allowed us to successfully and smoothly complete the entire series of events for the 4th ICoMUS 2025. We have with extraordinary presentations, in-depth panel discussions, and illuminating exchange of ideas under the theme Collaborative Research and Global Mobility, Foundations of Future Research Excellence. I would like to express my highest appreciation to all the distinguished keynote and panel speakers, even though they are no longer in this room. Professor Dr. Arya Satya, SP, MSI, Professor Dr. Jasmine Samet, Professor Dr. Yusniza binti Kamarul Zaman, Professor Dr. Andes Ojat Darujat, MBus PhD. The insight, experience, and forward-thinking ideas that you have said are truly invaluable and have enriched our understanding of how multidisciplinary collaborations and global mobility are the keys to achieve research excellence in the future. To all the presenters and participants of ICoMUS 2025, thank you for your active contributions. Every paper and your participations is evidence of our shared commitment to fostering a culture of research and improving the quality of publications. I hope that the network and partnership established during this conference will continue concrete research collaborations in the future. Finally, I would like to convey my deep gratitude to the committee from the Center for Scientific Research, Institute for Research and Community Services, Pak Gamot and friends. Thank you so much. Your dedications and hard work are the main reasons behind the success of this conference. Although this event concludes today, the spirit of collaborations, innovations, and research excellence must continue to be carried forward. Let us make the result of this conference a strong foundation for our future research endeavors. By uttering Alhamdulillahirabbil Alamin, I officially declare that the 4th International Conference of Multidisciplinary Academic Studies ICoMUS 2025 closed. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you for your participation, and we look forward to meeting you again at ICoMUS next year. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Mary Novianti, for your closing speech. And ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mary's speech just now marks the end of this conference. And you know, for every hello, there's also goodbye. But on behalf of the organizers, we would like to thank the keynote speaker, the plenary speakers, the moderator, and then also presenters and participants from various institutions. Your presence and contributions have made this conference truly, truly valuable. And a special thank you to organizing committee and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make this event possible. So please, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to all of us here today. Thank you so much. And finally, as we close down the curtain, we wish you all continued success on your academic and professional journeys. Thank you so much for having me, and until we meet again on the next occasion, for now, see you and have a good night. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.